Hi everyone, my name is Dr. V Kativhu. I'm 26 years old. I received an honorary doctorate degree. That's why I call myself Dr. V. And I love all things empowerment, girls' education, female empowerment specifically. So this is a podcast dedicated to just mindset shifting, understanding the power of you, and knowing that you are allowed to exist loudly and choose the life that you want to have and to live. In my line of work, I am a girls' education activist. I advise UNICEF on their youth engagement strategy. I'm also a YouTuber. I post lots of videos online, just sharing how to study, how to be a student, all that stuff. And I also run an education-focused charity called Empowered by V, where we also teach study skills over there and give scholarships and give opportunities and stuff like that to young people. And I like to travel the world. That's me. That's who I am. And now I want to have a podcast. So here is my fake podcast, because it's not a real podcast. It's not anywhere podcastable, but I would love to have a podcast in the future. So I'm just gonna make a pretend one here on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, and hopefully if you guys like it enough, someone will help me make a real podcast. This microphone is not even on. This is the real microphone, but this just looks more podcasty, so we're gonna go with it. Anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about today for episode 1 of the Empowerment Podcast is the idea of January, the new year, new me, the new goals, all of that stuff. I'm a big fan of the new year. This is my favorite time of the year. I love the energy that the new year brings us. The only thing that I don't love is that I think people haven't really learned how to properly goal set or like properly plan, that then you have all of this energy and then you don't know how to use it. And I'm going to tell you the number one thing that I think is a bit wrong with vision boards. I'm a vision boarder. I love a vision board. But when my friends come up to me and they're like, V, can you help me? Like, I've made this vision board. It looks so amazing, but like, it's just not working for me. How do you make your vision board work for you? How do all the things that you typically write down end up coming true? FYI, I'm by a train. So if you hear the train, nothing I can do, team. This is the fake podcast. We haven't yet figured out sound. Anyway, so if you're like, if my friends are like, I just don't know how to make my vision board work for me, I'm often like, let's look through it. And I look through it and I'm like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And then they're like, I want to have more money. I want to travel more. They're all very great things that they want, but they're not specific enough. And the issue with a vision board, like the thing that people make where they cut out all the pictures of what they want their life to be like and they stick it on the board, it's really great for inspiration. It's great for feeling good, but it's not actionable. You can't do anything with a photo of an airplane on a wall. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything to you. What you need to do is get specific. So if you do cut out that picture of the airplane and you stick it on your vision board, next to it, write down what the actionable goal is. Like, what's the thing you want? And I find that a lot of people don't know what they want actually, and they're hoping that their vision board will tell them what they want. Then they put it on their phone, on Canva. They make a little thing on Canva. They put it as their screensaver. They look at it on their thing every day. But it doesn't mean anything because you can't action that. So what you need to do is, when you cut out your picture for your vision board, make sure underneath it you write down what that goal means. That airplane sign to you means, I want to travel to 5 countries in 2025. Not, I want to travel more, dot. No, you want to travel to 5 countries, or you would love to travel to 2, or you'd love to go to India, or you'd be as specific as you can be, because then you can start to work towards it and know whether or not you're on track for it. When you put that picture of money on your vision board, you need to write down how much money you're hoping to make. Are you hoping to triple your income? Are you hoping to save £10,000 for a house? Are you hoping to, what is the actionable action behind that? Because then when you're looking at it for inspiration, you feel more motivated, because you can say, I have X amount of time, I'm trying to raise X amount of money, which means I need to raise X amount a day to reach that goal for my vision board to come true. So I'm a really big believer of breaking things down to the smallest possible component, because otherwise you just can't take action from wishful thinking. And that's why I have a problem with the standard version of a vision board. It doesn't go far enough and it's not going to get you where you want to get to. So that's number one. And just taking a look at my notes, Yes, so if you've already done your vision board right now and it's already on your wall, go to it, take it off, go to the back of each image and just write down what that image means in actionable terms. Like, okay, if there's a picture of a house, it means I want to move out before December and have my own place. And to have my own place, I want to live in this city. I'd love to have this many bedroom house. It means I need to do this thing to get to it. Like, do you know the action steps behind your inspirational vision board? And the other thing that I would really challenge you to do is to look at your list of goals and ask yourself, is this still what I want? Is this still what I want? Like, when I'm writing these goals down, are they goals for past me or are they goals for me now? Because I think often what happens is someone declared when they were 13 that they're going to have a fitness company. Now they've been working on a fitness company for the past 5 years. Now it's 2025 and it's time to make your goals. You can't leave the fitness company off there. Everybody knows you for the fitness company. Everybody knows you for... But you feel attached to your goals, not because they're what you actually want, but just because they're what people expect you to want and what you've been on a path to wanting. So now you're stuck in this cycle. You don't have to take on anything that doesn't align with you anymore. So you really have to use this January energy to sit down and ask yourself, am I still in the space of what I want anymore, of those things? Do they align with me anymore? Do they serve me anymore? Is this actually what I visualize for myself when I think of my dream life? What do I want out of it? Is a fitness company still what resonates with me now in 2025 versus you in 2022 when you made that goal? I'm a big believer in people having the chance to still change their minds, to still do things differently if they choose to. So make sure that you've allowed yourself room to do that in January. As for me, I sat down in January. It's now the 10th of January right now as I'm filming this. I haven't been on Instagram for the past 15 days maybe, or maybe 13 days, something like that, because I wanted to take time to think, what do I see myself as? Not what the world wants from me, not what... And normally it takes me 2 days, but this year I said I'm going to take as long as it takes until I have a clear vision of what I want from life and how I want my year to look. So give yourself the courtesy of slowing down and asking, is this a vision for my parent or a vision for me? Like, who is this vision for and who is it serving? And is it me anymore? So I hope that is helpful. I hope you liked that. This is the Empowerment Podcast, episode 1, where we talk about all things empowerment, living your best life, manifestation, faith, spirituality, journaling, tapping into everything. We also have a train that likes to make an appearance. The funny thing is, you guys probably can't even hear the train, but I can hear it so loud. And I just want to apologize for those of you who are listening to the fake podcast. Anywhere you're listening, it's not on Spotify, it's nowhere. It's only going to be on YouTube or Instagram. But hey, this is the Empowerment Podcast and I love it. So all that to say, the best of luck to you for 2025 rather. The last thing I'll say is make sure that you know who you want to leave behind. Know that you don't have to be friends with anybody that you don't want to be friends with. Even family, if they don't make you feel good, you're allowed to distance. You're allowed to choose the things that make you happy. So that's it. Thank you so much. I love and appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Empowerment Podcast. I'm so open to hearing any suggestions for things you want us to touch on, and we can touch on it. This is my podcast, and I hope I can end up putting this on Spotify. If you're listening to this on Spotify, just know that I managed to figure it out. I have always wanted a podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you later. So happy.